pay for sponsorship. So I expect a little bit of dent in the sponsorship also. So at least for a year or two. In terms of technique, the whole saliva discussion is going on. I mean, I'm going to be very honest with you. I find that very, very silly because saliva is not the only thing that's applied to the ball when they're playing, right? Players are touching themselves, they have it in their sweat. Unless they're wearing PPEs like I wear when I treat patients, this is utter nonsense. So I really don't see the saliva ban having any effect. If someone's going to get infected, they're going to get infected. Another thing which I found very funny and very silly actually was they're talking about a COVID substitute.
Yeah.
So if a player is diagnosed with COVID, they're going to
Yeah.
have a substitute. If I'm a dentist, I'm not even a doctor. And even I can tell you, if a player is diagnosed with COVID, the first thing has to be isolate the team, isolate the umpires, isolate the support staff, and maybe even consider isolating the opposition players. What are you doing trying to, no, forget isolating them. Let's get another player and let's infect him also.
Yeah, expose it further.
I think it's related to players having symptoms, not positive. Mild symptoms, that is.
Okay, but I mean, you're assuming, that he's a positive. If he's having symptoms, you're like replacing him because he might be positive, right? You have symptoms only if you have positive. Let's say, I mean, my logic is that if somebody's even showing symptoms, that's it. It's like me saying, you know what, no, my patient was showing symptoms, but it's okay. I'm going to continue practicing. Don't worry about it. Nothing happens. So I feel the whole...
If we think like this, like we'll cancel the match or series itself, then it would be a huge risk to be taken because a lot of money will be involved already once the series starts.
If you read my tweet right now, I have said so the reason I'm wearing this hat is I lived in Philadelphia for 7 years. I went to dental school there, and I'm a major Philadelphia Phillies fan, which is a baseball team. And they just reported for training camp, and literally like 15 minutes ago, 8 players are positive. 8 players are positive. Now you have to realize that's why I'm wearing the Phillies hat, because I said, forget about it. You cannot have the IPL. And then the third effect, which I want to talk about, is physical, right? This virus is devastating. People are dying like this. You see that 3D simulation of what it does to somebody's lungs. It is worse than lung cancer. Now, all of us here, we can get COVID, we can isolate ourselves, and we can get back to quote unquote normal health and go back to work. These are athletes of the highest orders. They're not Gavaskar and Dilip Mendes fitness anymore. These are absolutely Olympic level athletes. And if the virus knocks their physical state down, I don't know how they're going to be able to get back to complete physical fitness, which is going to affect their performance. I mean, imagine someone like Virat Kohli. You see his workout routine; it's like Olympic level. It's like Grand Slam level, right? So I think on these counts, COVID has really affected cricket. And at least for 1 year, I see this having a major effect. And then the last real small point I want to make is, I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel I'll be able to go to a cricket match this year and maybe even next year, because it's like the perfect breeding ground. So I think, coming to the stadium is the problem as it is, accepting for T20 matches. So that's going to go down.
Unless the vaccine is out, I don't think
cricket
should be started.
No, even you talk about the vaccine, I don't think the vaccine and all will take around about 6. Whenever it will come, then after it will take 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. Even if it takes around 1.5 years or so for even vaccine to be distributed. I'm saying I'm taking the maximum time, whatever time it takes, to vaccine to reach every country where the cricket will be involved. Like not only India, IPL is in India, but other players also from wherever they are coming, it should be available there also. Vaccine should be available.
Absolutely.
Because we don't know which player can carry the corona, right? New Zealand was declared corona free, and there are 3 cases in a week. So
absolutely,
it's a difficult thing.
Yep. So there you go. That's my take on.
That's a very
very
nice
just
take.
A moment. I just have a doubt. Since we have a doctor with us, I just wanted to know, since the stadium will be closed, as far as we know, it will be closed, right? And players and everyone will be tested, and they will be for 15 days isolation or whatever, quarantine.
Isolation.
So once they are negative, is it possible they can get positive without anyone having corona?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Negative test.
Negative
test is
like
repeat.
If they don't go out, they are staying in stadium itself.
No, but
Nobody is going out.
Negative test does not mean they don't have the virus, which is why the test has to be repeated in 2 weeks. 2 consecutive negative tests is a very good chance that they are not yet negative. They can still be. There have been incidents of people positive on the third test.
And is it possible that positive person will not have any symptoms for 15 days also?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. Then it will be very, very difficult. I thought after testing negative, you can, start your practicing and all. But since you can be positive in 15 days also, then it's not acceptable, I think. Thank you so much for clarifying.
Yes, thank you. So we come to the next part, which already Gautam had mentioned, is about ball management and the applying of saliva.
So
for which I'll hand it over to Rishit Shukla.
Yeah. So I'm Rishit. I'm pursuing my PhD in physics in Ahmedabad, Gujarat University. So I would just like to come onto the fact about this saliva thing. Even I find it bullshit, if I may say, because the bodily fluids are still going to be exchanged in terms of perspiration and all that. So I don't know how not using saliva and using sweat would change the matters as far as this COVID situation is concerned. Having said that, I don't think even using sweat would make a lot of difference to the ball per se, because having played cricket at the lower level, around college level, district level, I can surely say that what we used to do was we used to apply those 2-3 layers of Vaseline or sunscreen on our faces, and then we would just slyly rub it off and apply it on the
John Lever.
So exactly. So those things may come into the picture for sure. And as far as Braitley, what he suggested was that we could use a tub of wax and a cloth to apply. I would say that would weaken the grip, something different on the fingers. I don't think
Rahul Dravid's sweet.
Can we use the sandpaper?
Candy is extremely normal.
Candy is extremely normal. Yes, people do that. They don't accept it. That's a different thing. We have done that, so I'm sure it happens yet. The thing with sandpaper was that it was trying to make the surface abrasive, but I don't think they would try to do that in this situation, because we need to maintain the shine. So
actually, I just wanted to know in this that only carrier of coronavirus is
saliva.
What? Saliva, not the sweat. Not the sweat.
I am not a doctor, but I don't think corona works that way. Bodily fluid of an infected person may sure harm. I'm not sure about it.
I asked somebody. I asked somebody. I asked somebody, and he said that sweat won't be carrier of
So let me put it this way.
I'm not sure.
The only thing we know about the coronavirus is that we don't know everything there is to be known about the coronavirus. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
It finds new.
That's the reason I wear a spacesuit. I'm just a mere dentist, but the reason I wear a spacesuit with an N95 mask and all that, it's like, you've got to assume everything.
You can't leave it to chances.
Correct. You got to assume everything.
Yeah. Everything is infected.
Exactly.
Yeah. True. So I don't find it quite convincing as yet, but let's see how it pans out. And as far as the maintaining the condition of the ball, I don't think sweat or saliva would make any difference. If you remember, there was some England series where those people used to think that sweat from the lower back would make the ball swing more. I don't know how what kind of physics they applied.
In the middle, there was Joe Root. He had a ball shining sleeve with him.
Yeah.
He used to rub the sleeve. Yeah, exactly.
So as far as I know, that the thing is, the balls are lacquered with grease, and when you put a liquid on it, the grease comes up to the surface. You just need to shine it, any sort of liquid. The thing with water would be that it would make the ball heavier and slower to move through the air. So I would still think it does not change the game as much. Using sweat should work as well as
would be
I would like to add
one problem.
Yeah. See,
I'm not even recognizing people here. very
I'll
difficult
tell
for
you
me.
about
I don't know many
the
people.
surface.
Yes.
When I play for my office team, I'm a bowler, right? So I've got 3-4 different track pants which I wear for matches, right? And I've noticed that it's one of the track pants, the material is such that the ball
Yeah.
shines very, very well.
Yeah, it's a
I feel
police
that
track pant.
Polyester.
yeah. So it depends.
No. Police, like when you go for the police training, they give you a hard material. You sweat more in it.
Okay.
It's a polyester. Yeah,
So,
correct.
So there are 3-4 different. So I have noticed that with that particular track pant, the shine is better because the surface of that material is such that the ball shines well. So I use that whenever there is a match. So,
Okay.
That would also depend upon the ball, I guess, because the Kookaburra white ball, I don't think sweat, saliva, anything is going to make a difference to the
play with
condition.
SG. We play with
SG test
ball,
is quite
SG ball.
conducive to shining with sweat and all that.
It's heavy polished. SG is heavy polished.
Yes. So it gets on with the shine very easily. So still, I think
which is also why you see reverse swing much more in Test cricket than in white ball cricket, right?
White ball cricket, correct. Yeah. It is easier to maintain, and even I guess Sir Ian Chappell called it the issue as a storm in the teacup.
Yeah.
Or season waiting room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I added 3 more.
Doctor is having a hard time managing.
Yeah.
So that is my 2 rupees
Subu sir
on the
is
ball management thing.
Give a big round of applause for Subu sir.
Yeah. Subu sir is here. Great.
Please introduce people as well.
Yes. So Subu sir is here. Yeah. So
I know
Subu
just you
sir,
and Rishit. I know
So
just you
Subu
and
sir
Dr.
tweets
Gautam
with the
generally.
handle Subsi, and he shares a lot of retro memorabilia.
I can give you a nickname. You're like the bootlegger.
I have a request. Can everyone switch off? Can mute themselves? Can people mute themselves?
Yeah.
No, Subu sir, you don't. I'm talking about the others who are not.
Balaji. Balaji is there.
Apart from the speaker, can we all please mute ourselves?
Yes.
Thank you.
Subu sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Hey, hi Manju. Manjunath. You go by Manjunath or Manju? You are mute.
All is well, sir. All is. Whatever you say with love, I think.
All is well. Yeah.
नहीं यार पहला तो मुझे सर मत बुलाओ यार.
Okay.
But I see there's a huge group of people. I hardly might have met any, except I have interacted with a couple of you guys, not many of them, right?
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
Okay, sir. Basically, we wanted to get you on board so that you can share your experiences of your retro cricket. Like you have a unique way of following cricket, like from the 80s and 90s. So that's what your Twitter bio says.
Twitter bio does say 80s and 90s because I just chose to do that. But I'm still pretty much a good fan of the contemporary cricket in 2020 and IPL and stuff. So I think I thought the 80s and 90s is the one that is not probably much represented. So I thought I'll just start with that and have a brand for myself. But I can talk IPL
nostalgia
also, okay? I can talk IPL.
Call it nostalgia merchant.
We all are branded like that.
Yeah. It means I got branded to 80s and 90s. Hey, nice meeting you, Anju. But we
that is fine. But whenever you say Sachin is great, you are nostalgia merchant.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't listen
well, I posted
else.
2 videos today. I posted 2 videos today from Sachin and Gavaskar or Gavaskar predicting. Because I was told not to say Gavaskar, but to say Gavaskar. And 1 second, my kids are going.
You disappoint me, man. Your kids are older than me. If you haven't figured out that you're You have to tell them
that's Gautam, right? Phillies fan can be only Gautam.
Yeah.
There you go.
Doctor.
So the reason I'm wearing the Phillies fan is like 15 minutes ago, 8 players at the Phillies mini camp have tested positive.
Oh, really?
And so that's why,
okay.
Yeah, and that's why I tweeted out that, this is why the IPL shouldn't take place.
See, I feel bad if IPL doesn't take place. At some point, IPL should take
Bharat
place.
is not there.
No, today Bharat is not there. Yes. He's writing a feature for CricBuzz.
Oh.
So anyway, I joined late. I don't know how long I made you all wait, but it still happens
to be
sir.
My you can
lunch.
Carry on.
Anything specific you means I can just give you a perspective of what.
Yes,
yeah, okay. So for me, I always say that it's still 4 days away or 7 days away from the time I started watching cricket. So today is June 19th, right? So 7 days away from in 1983 is when I started watching the cricket. So basically the 1983 final is when I began, at least I got introduced to what cricket means. And but before that, I just wanted to thank Manju and Manjunath, I would say.
Yes.
I know you go by MJ. I saw some chats going around with MJ, so I can call you MJ. I thought I'll go by VM because you had a V and M, so I thought VM is a perfect one. Voicemail.
Yes, I am VM.
Okay, voicemail. So VM is an acronym for voicemail. So
even Vijay Merchant or
Vijay Merchant. Okay. Maybe I underestimated it.
Vinu Mankad.
Vinu Mankad. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
No. So I think so. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yes, go ahead, sir.
No. I saw. Like I said, I'm thanks for this invitation, and I'm honored to be amongst so many cricket fanatics. And I'm just happy to get to know a few more folks through this interaction. I would rather choose to keep quiet and just listen and learn from you all than me talking. So I won't take a whole lot of stage because I want to listen from you all because your experience matters to me more because I share my experience on Twitter on many ways, and so there is a medium. But I would probably make sure that I talk less and get more out of you all, so that I can interact in future as well. But just to go back to your original question, right? I'm a huge retro vintage cricket fan, but I still play very actively here in Atlanta Cricket League, and do watch a lot of contemporary cricket. All IPL 2020 or whatever you want, but I just thought I can represent more with the 80s and 90s because there's not many people who might have all the vintage magazines or the VHS archives or something. So I just chose to be that way. But what it was means as a fan, right, to watch cricket back then, I thought I was very lucky and blessed to have started my journey of knowing this beautiful game from the day of the 1983 finals, because that's the first day I really got introduced to cricket. I didn't know what cricket is, what bat is, what ball is. But as we all know, the TV coverage and started to blossom at that point. Doordarshan started to cover test matches. They started to cover the ODIs in India. And then we started to get a glimpse of the colored clothing and the night cricket from Australia, right? In 1985, Ravi Shastri ka Audiwala. And then always that we had this radio transistor for test matches in England and Australia. So it was a mixed bag on how we got the coverage. But India was doing really well. I think that's why I always keep going back, because if India was not winning at that time, I might have been, I don't know, as a kid, I might not have followed cricket as much, or I might have chosen some other sport. But luckily, India was doing well. And we were in the path of ascendancy. In ODI, we won probably, I think they call it as Grand Slam of ODI tournament, because we won the World Cup, we won the World Championship of Cricket, we won the Asia Cup, or maybe I'm flipping the order, but I think it was World Cup, then Asia Cup, World Championship of Cricket, and then the Rothmans Cup.
Correct.
So, and then in test, we almost beat Australia in 1985 and beat England in 1986. So life was great growing up for me, because I thought India cannot be beaten.
And we also won the ODI series in England, and that was one of the rare instances of a team winning both the Test and ODI series.
Yeah, I think ODI did we win? I thought it was
no.
1-all,
86
right?
is the only time we won both, and that's that.
No. We won only one.
But the other one was abandoned. We won the series technically.
I will take it if we had won it. I'll take it. I'm happy.
So you are right. We won only one match, but there was a technicality by which we won the series.
I thought it. I think we won the first one, then the second one was won by England. But you may be right, Gautam. Maybe there was a technicality of net run rate or something where India might have even been given the winners. So maybe I may want to check it. So that's what. So you have made me curious, right? I think you are not given me something to look forward and go back and check the archives again. So I'll do that. But like I said, life was great growing up, and then I started collecting sports stuff, and then I recorded games and interviews on VHS tapes, and just buying little stuff that I could afford. Right? Basically, you want to afford something, right? You cannot just go and buy everything. So I started off buy little stuff and preserving it. That's the biggest part of it. I have preserved everything. So I had this mini cricket balls, bats, vintage stuff. I call it vintage today, but it was contemporary back then, right? So, and I won't say contemporary, well, not exactly, but so watching and following and learning cricket, I thought the timing was great for me at then. And then fast forward today, we all know the world is at our feet. Well, no, probably I stand corrected because the world cannot be at our feet. The COVID-19 has the world at its feet, right? So, in general, I thought we have so much access to everything that we all should feel very blessed, and that India is a big force in cricket. I love the interaction that I have in Twitter. I was not active on Twitter till I got pulled in like 3 or 4 months ago. And then I started, I thought I knew a lot of stuff on many things. And then I come to Twitter, I know that I probably know just 50% of it. The other 50% I'm still learning from you all. So it's a great experience. And that's fair. Means I think that's what I had in my mind. I don't know, Manju, if you had or anyone else had any specific questions, but there's a huge audience here, so I would want them to talk through.
You are so lucky, sir. You started your cricket viewing, fan thing from a victory, World Cup victory. I started watching it in 99. So it took me a lot of years to witness first World Cup, like almost 8 years.
I think 99 was not the right time. Yeah, maybe unless you're a Sachin fan, right? Sachin fan means 99, 98, 99.
Sachin had a good 99.
Of course, Sachin was the reason we started watching.
Sachin always has a very good records during the World Cup.
Yeah.
So it's
correct.
So yeah, we have a surprise speaker. His goes by the handle name of Writing Riger. So is he there?
He should have been. He joined. He confirmed.
Yeah, his name is Writing Riger.
Before that, I have a question for Subu.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
So
you can go ahead with the question.
Here is the Subhayan. Yes, Captain.
So,
Subhayan.
Yeah, hi Subu.
Nice to see you in person, or rather in Zoom person.
Zoom person. We'll definitely meet in future, sir. So my question for you is, see, during the 90s, having big posters was a major thing for us children, right? Having a chain worn zoom in photo in a big size, it was like a dream come true for us. We used to beg in front of our parents to have it. So my question is, how was it to have posters or say recording of matches that, like, after 20 years they were historic? How good was that to have it with you?
See, I see, if you're a nostalgia connoisseur, then I think you would love to have all this. And I had treasured everything. I even have my first the cricket ball with which I played. Wow. So it's a 35-40 overs ball, but I still have preserved it. So for me, it's very natural to preserve things, and I love this game. I probably haven't given everything, and then now I'm getting a medium to share with you all folks. Not the posters and pictures are great, but also the other stuff. But I'm hoping someday I can pull out all the VHS archives that I have in my treasure, and I'm trying to do a little bit every now and then. Today I posted a few videos, but again, it's not like I'm not equipped with all the technology to do this like a Minek does it, right, or a Roblin does it. because that's what they always do. But I am a beneficiary of all of them. I take all of these stuffs and collect myself. Now I have realized that I probably had to share the joy with rest of the world. That's what Jai Galgali, right? You know Jai, who posts a lot of videos from the films division. So he actually told me that, okay, Subu, you have an opportunity to give back the joy to the people who may want to see. It could be anything. It could be posters. It could be videos. So you may want to do that and embrace it. So I thought it's a great idea that he gave me, and now I'm trying to do my best. I have a day job, so I cannot be focused. I'm still, this is a lunchtime where I'm coming in, but I still wanted to see you all and talk through. So that's where I am. I don't want to take.
We have good
By the way, one good news is that this Zoom call is for unlimited time. This is not for the restricted for the 40
Subbu
minutes.
sir?
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Actually, I wanted to know, what was the fan war like when?
It was always at back then. I would say it was India and Pakistan. It has not changed, but I can tell you, because we used to go to Sharjah and get smashed. And so today is Friday, right? So Friday evenings and Friday mornings are not the greatest back then.
I remember even the Friday when the Azan used to be happen, India-Pakistan match, and they used to say, "Yeah, it's worth the Pakistan koi jeetna hai because of the Azan." Anyways, those all fan moments are very, very actually amazing.
Yeah, Pakistan was big, and I was a big. I can tell you that I used to love
that
awesome
team. Player. They used to have awesome players during the 90s. Mind-boggling, like.
Yeah.
It was a big one.
There. Then
Mohinder Amarnath was very
Mohinder Amarnath was always, I would say, he had his own challenges with selectors, right? So Mohinder is, he was one of my big. I was a big fan of Mohinder because of the way he used to play that hook shot and pull shot. He used to get dropped and then he used to come back with a century. So that's what Mohinder was. But I think, to be frank, and I grew up in Bombay. So I'm born and brought up in Bombay. And I'm a Tamil, but born and brought up in Bombay. And back there, I think there was a lot of Bombay influence. So we used to be a little bit more biased or partisan towards Mumbai players. I think you can call that way. So Gavaskar, Vengsarkar, Manjrekar. So that was the school of thought we got brought up. Actually.
But sir, was it ever a case that you would like one player to fail just to see your favorite getting blossomed?
I read Sanjay Manjrekar's book, right? He openly talked about how the Indian team in the 90s was basically divided into the West Zone versus the North Zone, and there was a complete
It's unfortunate.
My cousin used to be married to Prasad Desai, if you remember him, Bombay's opening fast bowler. And he made, he used to say it was like it was worse than India-Pakistan. The rivalry was worse than India-Pakistan because at least there you had a mean to justify it. And then Sachin coming in really changed it because everyone else just got overshadowed, and Sachin really became the guy, and he became the face of the team. And then Karnataka coming in, all these things which Manjrekar wrote, I had heard back then. At one point, if you remember, I think we had 6 players from Karnataka in the Indian 11, and that was unheard of, to have non-Delhi, non-Mumbai players in such high.
Players don't get enough chances as compared to.
I claim that.
Someone was saying
Any Mumbaiker will doubt that because Rahul Dravid got selected when Amol Muzumdar should have been selected.
Yes,
and
Amol
that is true. Rahul Dravid would never played for India. So I'm not going to buy that argument.
Amol Muzumdar was padded up during that Harris Shield match to bat next.
That's the story of his life. He's always waiting.
Yeah, always waiting.
He's one of the unluckiest player who didn't represent a country.
Yes, he's the best player India never had.
Yes. I think one or two more.
Actually, we have Jitendra standing by. So he's having some net issues. So he has to talk about doping in cricket, substance abuse. So Jitendra, please take it away.
Come on, Jitendra.
We also have we have Abhishek and Raj from North Stand gang here also.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome.
Oh,
welcome.
Abhishek.
Yeah,
I think I only saw Abhishek once, but
yeah, and I would say that I have interacted with the other fan group that is based out of the UK. I don't want to take names for legal purposes, but I'll tell you a quick story. Is that I used to write a blog just for fun. I write it from time to time, and I spoke to their founder and I said, hey, you know what? I would love to interview you. So he's like, okay, fine, no problem. I'll call you tomorrow. Right? This was when the Australia Test series was going on down under. So I have an appointment phone call from me from that day. Whereas the North Stand gang, they were amazing. They came to Pune. They were the life of the match. I sat right in front of them. They were fantastic. So Abhishek and Raj, thank you for what you do. I consider you guys to be the true fan army of the Indian cricket team.
Yes. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah. They get a lot of celebrity replies also.
Yes. Okay, so Jitendra is having some trouble. So we have Balaji who's there. So he'd like to share his bits on sledging in cricket. Yeah. Balaji, take it away.
Hi.
Come on, Balaji.
Let's I am deep extra cover, so that if that helps, you can relate easily.
Yeah. You have to be on your
hope
toes.
you are all hope you are all doing good and staying safe. Yeah, I am Balaji, deep extra cover.
Yes, Balaji. Yes.
Yeah. No.
Anju is
saying deep extra cover.
Balaji, you have to say it's L Balaji. Okay.
Yeah, L Balaji.
So we only know one L Balaji. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Balaji had a ponytail.
Yeah, and he would never hit on the
Balaji
deep extra
had a
cover.
ponytail.
So yeah, now it's gone. No, now it's gone. Actually, I took that. Who doesn't know deep extra cover?
I was taking another man as Balaji.
Okay. I am here. So
that's why I was saying, please introduce.
Yeah. Okay, now I am. I can able to relate to all. So actually, I just wanted to add to Amul Mazumdar, not in any other intention, but Subramaniam Badrinath was ignored by Vinsarkar and he chose Virat Kohli. That was the latest controversy, but I'm not against anyone. I'm just taking it. He was also a talented player, Badrinath from Tamil Nadu, who has over 10k runs in Ranji, but couldn't able to replicate in the highest form. So yeah, that's fine. So hope you are all doing good and staying safe. Actually, so before taking up much time, I will jump into the topic sledging. So actually, this is a very old term in cricket history. So when I was delving deep into it, I came across the interesting fact that leg pads were introduced because of sledging.
One second. Yeah. Can somebody add Subhayan? Please accept Subhayan's request. I think he left and he is still in the queue. Please accept him.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Balaji.
Yeah, sure. So leg pads were introduced because of sledging, because somewhere in the 19th century, a bowler from Nottinghamshire or Northamptonshire, I'm not sure, Sam Redgate sledged the batsman Alfred Mint, saying that get ready for a broken flaming leg, and actually managed to break the batsman's leg, which eventually led to the introduction of leg pads. So leg pads were introduced as because of sledging. So sledging is actually a very thin line. It can be enjoyable till it stays as a banter, but if it crosses the line, we could see some ugly things as well. So there are some very good banters. Again, I was going through the internet to see some banters from the bygone era that I have missed. And I came across this interesting one. Obviously, many would have known here, as many are historians here. So I just like to throw this up as well. Mark Waugh and James Harmon. Saying, Mark Waugh saying that to James Harmon that you're not qualified to play as an England cricketer. What are you doing here? For which James Harmon replied, at least I am the best batsman in my family. Pointed out to Steve as well. So many would be aware. Just wanted to throw it here. So that's it. And the latest is the babysitting saga between Pant and Payne, which both the players took handled to perfection. Just was in the brilliant spirit of the game, and even Pant went to their home and taking snaps.
Actually babysit.
Yes. Yeah, actually babysit. So I don't see those things happening in bygone era. So because of these things, because of the franchise cricket now, every player is used to interact well with the other players. But on a flip side,
you miss most famous one.
Sorry.
McGrath. You missed most famous one, McGrath.
Sarwar and McGrath.
Family
Channel.
Many are there. If I can take back everything, Anderson and this thing was there, and so it keep on going. So I just want to make it short. So, but on a flip side, again, some sledges that go beyond the line and
reply McGrath got was just befitting reply.
yeah. And so on a flip side, these sledges can turn into abusive comments. Even the Shane Warne and Marlon Samuel's saga that turned into physical altercation. That he tried to pull.
That was really one of the worst one.
Yeah. And I'm about to next is that only. So and
Cylinder and Butler, very recent.
Yeah, that
Butler
racist.
But
something on the lines of. Yeah.
Balaji, I want to add one thing. But I think one of the best we all ever actually went through is the Venkatesh Prasad and Amir Sohail.
Yes.
This is the winner.
This
is the winner.
That is
classic one actually.
Yeah. No, but that wasn't sledging. I mean, I wouldn't call it sledging.
That was
sledges to
Yeah,
distract the
that was the
batsman.
more.
sledging, sir.
That was more of a reaction.
That sledging
Yeah,
from
that was
Amir Sohail to
self-distraction.
If you ask me, that was the moment
Self-distraction.
that changed India-Pakistan cricket forever. Because from that point on, I feel Indians started, like every India-Pakistan match that used to be hyped up by the media, and I feel Indian players started taking motivation. Just like, and I think it took the demons out of the Miyanda 6 to a large extent, because we all are traumatized by that.
Just wanted to mention that also.
That ended the career of Sharma.
Well, he didn't have any career to begin with, but that's a different story.
No, for Miyanda's 6, they said that Sharjah ka chakka kar diya hakka pakka. That was the
correct. Elite Singh, what he's saying is correct. Is Javed Miyada to Dilip Doshi. Tell a loop number kya hai? Loop number.
So which game was that? Karthik, which game? Do you remember which game was it? Was it the 83-84 game?
82 series when Dilip Doshi was trying to come back.
Yeah, 82. No, not 82, right? I think it was in India.
Yeah, 82 they had come over to India, right?
Yeah.
No, 84, 83, 84. 84,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
83.
Yeah.
After
So
the World
ideally, sledging should be done by the bowler to distract the batsman. But what Amir Sohail did was he self-distracted and he got what he deserved the next ball. So that's a complete different thing.
No, but
so
again,
that
was one of the great things.
Greatest things,
Balaji, what
Not to forget Shoaib Akhtar and Sehwag one.
Sorry,
what is your favorite sledge of all
Shoaib
time?
Akhtar and Sehwag.
Sledger. I like Johnson. Johnson is my favorite sledge.
Mitchell Johnson?
Yeah, Mitchell Johnson.
He was a smart sledger actually.
Correct. So, my friend used to play wicket keeping for Maharashtra. He said Punjab had come to Maharashtra, Pune once. They've scored 700 for 3 or something like that. So Iqbal Siddiqui, it was a pata wicket. Like probably the tiles in my living room have a better bounce. So Iqbal Siddiqui bowled a bouncer to Sidhu, right? And he kind of ran up to him. And he did it 2-3 times and then he abused him. So Sidhu, Anju, I'm going to pardon my language. So Sidhu goes to him, जा तू तेरी दूध पी रहा था तब मैंने मेरी पहली सेंचुरी मारी थी जाके बॉलिंग कर. I don't think Siddiqui ever recovered from that.
Yeah. So that's what on a flip side we mightn't have seen Yuvraj 6 sixes if not for Flintoff sledging him. Unfortunately, Stuart Broad was made the scapegoat, but that's fine. Flintoff escaped and Stuart Broad got caught.
And
so
how about Jelly
I love Freddie Flintoff versus Tino Best recently commented on it.
That's true. But one more thing, I think everybody remember that Zahir Khan and Kevin Peterson Jelly Beans.
Jelly Bean incident.
Yes, Jelly Bean incident, which actually India did really well in that series. I think one they have.
2007.
Yeah, I think so. 2007-8 series.
Yuvraj also had that in the back of his mind that he was hit for 5 sixes by Dimitri Mascarenhas. So probably he wanted to avenge that.
Dimitri Mascarenhas.
Yeah. So this and Afridi and Gambhir thing is they are taken so personally that they both are pulling each other's leg to date. Even if they both give any interview, he is criticizing. I have seen the worst character. So if it stays in the
Someone
ground,
mentioned
it's
brain fed
better for the
moment.
game.
Actually, today
No, brain
I don't want
today
to.
I saw in the Twitter.
Brain fed moment.
Yeah, brain fade moment. But again, those things can fuel the players. The Virat Johnson saga backfired big time, and Virat kept piling up runs, and Johnson was clueless. The Australian team suffered big time.
That's
So it fuels the players. Smith and Archer, although that wasn't a kind of a verbal sledge, both were mentally fighting against each other. His short ball and Smith leaving the ball in the recent Ashes. So those kind of players get mentally tough, and they bring their best when sledged. So it's better to take Justin Langer's policy that he made the Australian players to, keep quiet during the last summer. But still, Payne and Virat got to some extent. Although Australians managed to keep Virat quiet for some time. So again, sledging should be a part of the game as it spices cricket. But we see more franchise cricket and players from every nation spending time 2 or 3 months together. So when they represent their country, they find it hard to sledge when they come in person to person. So they find it hard to sledge. So sledging, I don't think sledging will keep prolonging in the future. I don't see that because franchise cricket has completely changed everything. So that's what I feel. And as long as it's doesn't cross the line, sledging is perfectly fine, and banter that should be there for a
adds
better
the
viewing
spice to it.
experience, which shows.
Charles
Yeah,
also said something about this, right? Few days
yeah,
Yeah, there is a
yes,
line, imaginary line which you must not cross.
yeah,
Yeah.
imaginary line.
but
Yeah,
one thing I must love to add that during this IPL and all, India is always having an upper hand nowadays in sledging.
That's what
तेरे को
Clark
IPL
said,
का
right?
लगता है कि
and
Clark said
Virat
they were not sledging because of
Kohli,
IPL.
and
No,
Virat Kohli.
one
People
thing.
are
I just
fearing.
if you say if 15 CR for one season actually is like taking care of the BBL's three teams entire team's
Correct.
money.
Correct.
That's type it.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
why they would love to like sledge India? Quite obvious, they're getting money. 15 CR, come on. That's
I
a
think
huge
I
purse.
think
That's why
season is good
Stokes
enough.
also came up with the explanation
Yeah, that
about his
piece is
book.
very good. I would like to play in India for the IPL, right? Recently he
Yeah.
tweeted also.
I think Michael Clark even said that the Indian
started this
players
thing.
were nice
Michael
to
Clark
Virat Kohli.
started this thing.
He will say, nah, sir.
Then
He will
the
say
reaction
because
from Iron Finch and Tim Payne and everyone came in that we are always professional. We didn't even
Yeah,
think about
actually,
doing
see,
something
Michael
like that.
Clark, I thought was just trying to get some attention. I don't think
Yeah,
Australians
absolutely.
would
Why
ever do
would
that.
Michael Clark lead us?
very
I
true.
think
Plus one on that.
I think
Plus one on
Probably
that.
commentary.
Yes.
I think Australia have toned down the way they used to play their cricket, the aggressive cricket, the brand of cricket they used to play. I think they have toned it down a lot
I think
after that incident.
I think that's why one of the reasons that they lost the shine on their game also, because they used to be very favorite. They had
I
the
think-
hard nut to crack.
I think that definitely puts an effect. Look like chickens running on the street. So
Very true.
that depends. The loss
Very
of
true.
confidence is massive. International cricket, it's cruel. You can't even think about losing someone like Steven Smith and David Warner playing best cricket of their life.
I wish Vivek would have been here. Then he would have been say, "You captain, you are awesome." You talk about the MSD, I'm sure exactly Robin will come up and say, "Captain, I am listening to you."
Guys,
Please carry on.
Sledge is in the Durban Tri-Series final. Dravid was going, bonkers, and Donald literally cursed the living daylights out of him. And I till date, I believe that it was the sledging that cost India the match because it disturbed Dravid's temperament and concentration, and he got out.
Concentration, true,
Otherwise,
very true.
No, but I thought Dravid played in big innings, right? I think it was early in his career when Dravid started smashing.
No,
Or
he
And then Donald went after him, and Donald gave an interview. My wife was very upset with me because she said, if there is one player in cricket you should not have done to, it was Will Dravid, if I remember right. So that was that definitely.
Then you remember
Yeah, I
Michael
think
Slater
RD
as
was,
one, right?
maybe. Even RD was so set on that day. It was like that is like easily India can save that match if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
If and but there's nothing. Gautam sir spoke like he has given an entire theory. We always say it's a take as a doctor, isn't it?
I said, okay.
Yes, that only I think Zoom has given us the.
Where is Anju not?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jitendra is asking.
Yes, I would like.
I haven't seen him in the lobby.
He DM'd me right now.
Can you please?
So see, the worst part of COVID-19, this pandemic on sports journalism or journalism in general, has been the jokes. The worst thing to happen to someone. Fortunately, I still have my job, but I don't know whether it would still be there after 6 months. That's the scare this pandemic has torn to us. So that's the worst thing to happen. I think publications, print media has left shattered since this.
I can plus
many publications. Yes, many publications.
Because I'm from the digital, so I
tour or playing some tournament or given the hectic schedule we already have. And as a fan, we have seen many Instagram lives, and that has provided us probably the insights we could deserve for life. The stories where Mohammed Shami talking about his of suiciding is something, and that came through a normal chat. So I think it has left good and bad impact. Bad in the sense, we have seen controversies like Imran saying like it was in a fun, but then he made that comment on using the channel on his TikTok video. It has shown, but then the relationship between the fan, journalist, or the cricketer has grown massively during this period. They do it's for sheer love. I think they share news
No,
from
I'm
media
just
report.
comparing what they are doing
Yeah,
is
yeah,
similar
yeah,
to
yeah.
what they do.
It's
Nothing
yes,
else.
exactly. It's not in
They
it's
don't
not
put
in
anything
240
creative.
correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
it's not in
Jitendra is
240
back
corrected.
again. Yeah, good.
Oh, cool. Welcome.
Yes, cool. Yeah. Carry on, Subhayan.
Yeah, so I think talking about Vijay Lokapalli's impact on many writers, I think we can go back to 90s and pick writers on our will, but we can't find writers on today's time. In today's time, I think there will be very few. Bharat Sundaresan or Vithu, I think these are the guys who can be on that level.
Sid Monga.
Yeah, and talking about COVID's impact on sports journalism, I think we will see a lot more online press conferences like we are seeing in Premier League. I think that will be, we won't see physical press conferences happening for the time being at least. There will be very limited media space available in the stadium. I think hardly we can count it on our fingers. So that's a major impact. People are working from home who used to be on the field, on the ground, on the roads. Every time they are working from home. So that's a difference COVID has made.
And I also feel bad for the loss of revenue coming out of IPL, not to the cricketers, but to the day-to-day. Means I saw that article in Cricinfo and how Irfan Pathan went and helped some Chennai Super Kings or someone outside the Chennai Stadium or something.
I think
and it makes means it just says a lot, right? Means Irfan Pathan did it. Yeah. Many other cricketers might be doing the same.
Definitely.
But there are still a lot of folks who are suffering.
I personally know 50 to 60 cricketers or footballers who have donated or who have gone to the field and helped people, needy people, but they haven't shared a thing on social media. So
which is good, right?
That's the thing. Which is good. Which is actually good, and it is up to the man or woman himself whether he or she wants to share it or not. It's on their personal capacity.
That's one of the reason I feel that. No, that's one of the reasons I thought IPL should happen at some point later in the year, if at all.
It will happen. It will happen. It will happen.
It has to happen.
Subu,
I'll disagree with you on one point though, because one of my most viewed tweets was when I listed what all the cricketers are earning versus what they have announced that they have donated, right? And I feel what happens is when you are a personality, I think you have a moral obligation if you are donating to announce what you have donated. Because see, I'm a common man. I'm paying good money to come and watch you. I went to the cricket match in Pune. I paid 2,000 rupees, right? I mean, 2,000 rupees is not a small amount anymore. It's for anyone. And I feel if the players announce what they've done, I don't think anyone is going to perceive it as, oh, he's showing off. They're cricketers.
No, actually, the problem, Gautam, is not. No. What you're saying is right. But there may be people who will question that why is he only donating this much? Why can't he donate?
The thing which happened with MS Dhoni's thing.
Yeah, but I feel.
Do you remember? How much Virat was bashed when Irfan's donation tweet came?
Oh, really?
Literally, there was so much outrage that Virat has not donated anything, even though he did.
But I feel
he must have done a lot of.
No, but I feel that that backlash wouldn't have happened. The backlash was more about the COVID initial donation where he hasn't announced how much he has donated. And I'll be very honest with you. I'm very disappointed with Sachin. Sachin's donated 50 lakhs. The guy had 30 crores in 1998 when 30 crores was like 3,000 crores. So I feel they are under an obligation to announce how much they've donated, because that's going to have a trickle down effect. Because if Sachin donates 50 lakhs, others are going to donate 5 lakhs when it would have been more had Sachin donated.
Sachin has already adopted few villages.
So he's taking care of that also. On a ground level now, these players work on a level that we can't even imagine. Like they will give money on their bill, like they will take out the phone and they will just Google Pay it. It's nothing for them. And I know no players who have done that. So, and they are like, even if I insist, I'm putting this on social media, they will say, "Chhod de. There's koi zarurat nahi hai is cheez ki." So they are like that, and they are built like that. If someone, and there are players who will like donate something and they'll just and there are players.
No, but again, why they need to say anyone? Once again, why they need to tell anyone that they have given the money or donated the money?
See, there's two ways to look at. There are two ways to look at it. Once is to influence the public, like PM Cares was, or any donation for that matter, is to help people. And if Virat Kohli is saying, I have donated, leave out the amount, I have donated, 10 people will at least, diehard Virat Kohli fans will at least donate 100 rupees each. They will come out and at least
Dravids and Dravids also.
Then to we
a single word, however they donate. Then comparison starts. That is the problem with
It's not about comparing. It's about putting out a thing. I have donated not this much, but I have
but for fans.
See, let me complete.
We are going out of the topic. Let's come back to the topic.
Actually, Jitendra is now established connection, so he'll have to have something to say on doping and substance abuse in cricket. Jitendra, are you there?
Yes, are you guys listening me?
Yes. Please go on, Jitendra. We are listening you. Yes.
Yes, cricket and doping are the two unluckiest factors when they join together. As cricket is called gentleman's game. So when sometimes unknowingly or knowingly some ungentleman of the game did it by mistake, as cricket is reached very high level. Some demands from the fans, high level expectations, from the fans.
Yes,
Are
we
you
can
guys
hear you.
there?
You can go ahead.
As high level expectations from the fans, players have to do such types of heinous cramps as everyone not have do not have gifted like Russell or Brad Pitt, so they can that Kohli as opposed to. So we look at the circumstances of legend in cricket.
I think Jitendra, your
Like
voice is still
Sehwag
not
in
clear
2000.
now.
It's breaking. It's breaking.
I think
Yeah,
that
it's
the
breaking a
connection
lot.
issues.
Yes.
What?
It's too much of breaking.
Are you guys listening to me?
Yeah. Carry
Yeah,
on.
but it's
Carry on,
breaking.
Jitendra.
Cracking. His voice is cracking.
Hello.
Yes. Carry on, Jitendra.
Yeah. Continue, Jitendra, please.
Yeah, we can see many players in the past were found, like in 1993-94, Wasim Akram was found guilty. The West Indies too, and Stephen Fleming in 1993-94 in New Zealand too, when Dino Nance, Matthew Hart found smoking marijuana reported by Danny Morrison there. In 2003 World Cup, Shane Warne was
Shane Warne incident.
before the World Cup was starting.
Yes.
He told that he was given pills by her mom. Later on, Cricket Australia banned him for a year.
Yeah, even recently the Prithvi Shaw incident.
Yeah, Prithvi Shaw, turbuline
Who
incident.
knows the cup syrup or the real one? God knows, but again, he says the cup syrup and the things were there.
Yeah.
But there are very unfortunate people also there now who actually has gone through this and they've been banned because they were not the good name or the big names. I forgot the name recently. I think 2-3 years back, I heard about a person who has gone through the same incident of having the drugs, also the banned drugs through cup syrup, but he has been banned for the few years. I forgot the name. He's a Ranji player, if I'm not wrong.
Pradeep Sangwan also.
Even the Pradeep Sangwan's case, he didn't even accept it. Nah, he didn't say anything. He didn't say like the way this guy accepted Prithvi Shaw. But Prithvi Shaw is a national player. Perhaps the reason he got the benefit out of it. Pradeep Sangwan
players were summoned, including Jadeja, Pujara.
No, it is a recent one. That is a different thing. That is a NADA thing.
That is not disclosing the.
Not disclosing the whereabouts.
Yeah.
Whereabouts. It's a different case than the NADA.
Yeah, that is a different
case. It's a different thing than the having drugs or not.
Yeah.
That's a very different thing. But again, the outcome is very bad. Actually, if you will fail to lose for the second or third time in a row, you will be banned for international cricket for 1 year.
Do you think Prithvi Shaw's ban was justified?
See, we are not here to justify.
For 1 year.
I'm so sorry. No, we are not
No,
here
no,
to
no.
justify anyone.
It's my question. Not.
Okay.
Anju, it's very simple. The rules are very clearly laid out. The players are given them rules way ahead of time. It is a very